Hey everyone, welcome back to our podcast, Very Factual. We're your hosts, Kayla
and Izabella, and on today's episode, we will be talking about the opening games from the 23-24 Premier League season. The season kicked off with the late Friday night game on August 11th between Burnley and Manchester City at home. This game had a lot leading up to it, as it was Pep Guardiola versus his former captain and player, Vincent Kompany, whom he coached for 3 years from 2016 to 2019. Pep has actually came out and said last season, when Kompany took over Burnley, that he sees that Vincent Kompany will become the City manager in the future, maybe even his successor. Burnley's lineup consisted of a majority of their new signings, including James Trafford, Bayer, O'Shea, and Vitinho. Kompany put out their strongest lineup and has done good business this summer to strengthen the squad for the Premier League. City also started their strongest lineup, but surprisingly, Ruben Dias and John Stones were left out of the squad completely. Gvardiol started on the bench, but came on in the 79th minute. Kyle Walker also started after his Bayern Munich links diminished. Kovacic started on the bench alongside Grealish, and Alvarez started alongside with, of course, Erling Haaland. Haaland started the 23-24 campaign off strong by scoring a header off Rodri's corner in the 4th minute, and in the 36th minute scored a left-footed shot to the top left corner assisted by his striking partner, none other than Julian Alvarez. Rodri scored the third and final goal, a right-footed shot from close range to the top left corner following a set piece. Kevin De Bruyne unexpectedly got injured and is expected to be out for a number of weeks. After coming off in the 21st minute and a reassurance of the hamstring injury he sustained in the Champions League final. Burnley's Anas Sarri was shown a red card after his yellow card was changed to a red for fouling Walker in stoppage time. Pep schooled his former player Kompany and showed that City will again be fighting for the title again here this season. City continued their fine treble form, but Pep has came out and said that the treble will be impossible for them to repeat again.
In the early Saturday game, Arsenal beat Nottingham Forest 2-1. Arsenal had some interesting takes in their lineup, with Thomas Partey starting at defense and Timber replacing Gabriel. Kai Havertz started his new midfield position, along with big money signing Declan Rice. Nketiah played through the middle in place of Jesus, while Saka and Martinelli accompanied him on the wings. For Nottingham Forest, Arsenal's former goalkeeper Matt Turner started in goal, and the only other new signing that joined the lineup was Ola Aina. Gibbs, White, and Johnson kept their forward positions alongside Daniolo. The game begins, and 26 minutes in, Eddie Nketiah scored with his right foot into the center of the net, assisted by Gabriel Martinelli following a corner. 6 minutes later, Arsenal scored again by none other than Bukayo Saka. He scored an absolutely beautiful goal from the outside of the goal box to the very top left corner. He proves my point already on why he has a chance at Player of the Season. He has such quality and is definitely their star boy. Timber clashed with Johnson and was holding the back of his knee, but soon came back on. He also received his first yellow card and as an Arsenal player after a bad foul he committed. After halftime, Timber went down again, holding the back of his knee, and was replaced by Tomiyasu. In the 82nd minute, Forest came back with a goal by Tyler Awanoe to the bottom left corner to the left side of the 6-yard box. Former Manchester United player Anthony Elanga assisted following a fast break. Arsenal won the game 2-1 and played a real tough game. Arsenal's new signings also looked pretty bright. Timber played a pretty tough game till he had to come off, and Declan Rice had such an amazing game. He had many opportunities and had just gotten unlucky. He will continue to be an asset to Arsenal, not only in the middle of the park, but going forward in his leadership qualities. Kai Havertz, on the other hand, seemed invisible in the game. He had few chances, but they were off target. I don't know how Arteta will fit him in the midfield role, but we'll see. Newcastle thrashed Aston Villa 5-1 the late Saturday game. Manager Eddie Howe started 10 of the same 11 players he did last season, except replaced striker Callum Wilson with Sandro Tonali. Villa also started their strongest lineup, adding Diaby to the midfield. Newcastle opened by scoring in the 6th minute with their new signing of Sandro Tonali. He was assisted by Anthony Gordon and made a right-footed shot from the center of the box to the bottom left corner of the net. Just 5 minutes later, new Villa signing Moussa Diaby tied the game with an assist from Ollie Watkins. The shot was a right-footed from the center of the goal box to the top right corner of the net. Then in the 16th minute, Newcastle's Isak made a shot from the center of the box to the bottom right corner, assisted by Sven Botman, following a set piece. Soon, Villa's new defender Pau Torres came on the field for Tyrone Mings in the 31st minute, after Mings had to be stretchered off with an injury after clashing with Isak. Just 13 minutes after halftime, Isak put another right-footed shot into the bottom of the net. Newcastle's fourth goal was scored by none other than Callum Wilson. Wilson, assisted by new signing Harvey Barnes, and scored a shot to the top right corner. And the fifth and final goal by Newcastle was scored by none other than debutant Harvey Barnes. Jacob Murphy sent a through ball, and Barnes finished it into the bottom right corner. Newcastle continued their fine form and show early in the season why they deserve their championship spot. Villa, on the other hand, crumbled, while so many people, such as Izabella and myself, had them as so-called wildcards and overachievers.
Matchweek's one Super Sunday game had Chelsea going head-to-head with Liverpool and ended in an intense 1-1 draw. Chelsea's new goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, started in place of Kepa after Pochettino revealed that Kepa will be going to Real Madrid on loan this season. New defense signings Axel Desailly and Levi Colwill started alongside Thiago Silva in a three at the back. Reece James and Ben Chilwell played as hybrid wingbacks and joined Fernandes and Gallagher in the midfield. New striker signing Nicholas Jackson started down the middle for injured Christopher Nkunku and was joined by Sterling and Chukwuemeka on the wings. Liverpool had pretty much the same starting 11, but added Dominic Szoboszlai and McAllister to the midfield along with Gakpo. Diogo Jota replaced Darwin Núñez in the 11, joining Salah and Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz ended his scoring drought with a goal in the 18th minute. Salah sent a through ball and Diaz made a left-footed shot from the center of the box to the bottom left corner of the goal. Salah scored the next goal, but it was ruled out by VAR after he was caught offside. Chelsea scored their first goal of the season in the 37th minute by new signing Axel Desailly and was assisted by Ben Chilwell by a headed pass following a corner, and Desailly finished it with a right-footed shot from very close range, getting past Alisson. Chelsea's Chilwell gave the Blues the lead for a minute but was caught offside as well. The intensity stayed in the second half, but no goals came in the last 45 minutes. Chelsea ended the game with more possession and more shots on target. I would say Chelsea started their season on a high compared to last season, and the Blues gave the fans something to look forward to. Those were not the only games played this weekend. Sheffield United took on Crystal Palace and lost the game 0-1 with Oddison Edouard scoring in the 49th minute. Bournemouth took on West Ham, as West Ham were beginning their post-Declan Rice era. They tied the game 1-1 with Jarrod Bowen scoring in the 51st minute and Dominic Solanke scoring in the 82nd minute. Brighton vs Luton Town ended 4-1 with Solly March scoring in the 36th minute, João Pedro scoring a penalty kick in the 71st minute, Carlton Moore scoring a penalty kick for Luton in the 81st minute, Simone Dingra scoring in the 85th minute, and Evan Ferguson scoring in stoppage time in the 95th minute. Everton vs Fulham ended 0-1 with Bobby de Cordova-Reid scoring for Fulham in the 73rd minute. Brentford took on Spurs as Spurs were beginning their post-Harry Kane era and ended in a 2-2 draw. Christian Romero scored in the 11th minute, Brian Mbeumo scored in the 26th minute, Wissa scored in the 36th minute, and Emerson Royal scored in the 45th minute. There is one more game to complete match week 1, which is Manchester United taking on Wolves. Kayla, what are your thoughts? This is your team. How do you think they're going to do?
I'm actually pretty confident that Manchester United will be winning. However, I haven't really seen the Wolves play recently, so it may be a surprise. But I am pretty sure Manchester United will succeed. We'll see how they do tomorrow. Thank you everyone for listening. Don't forget to join us next week.